If you've ever had a buddy say, well, I'm moving to Alaska, so now I got to buy a 44 Magnum, but they were a C-class shooter at best with a 9mm, then go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, The Average. Big bore handguns are stupid video enjoyer that your mom says that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is obviously we're going to be discussing big bore handguns, why I think they're stupid, specifically 40 Smith & Wesson, 357 SIG, 10mm auto, 45 ACP, 38 Super, and the list goes on. Now, if you want to support the channel, guys, hit the like button. It is literally 5 in the morning. I'm going to my day job, which is going to be 14 to 16 hours of yelling at people and trying to educate them on how to be a better drill sergeant. Okay, so if you want to support the channel, hit the like button. It helps out more than you know. Comment your llama or your immortals emojis down below. Okay, combat llamas or your immortals emojis down below. Do all that. And post your Fudd stories. Post your favorite buddy that bought a 45 auto because it was a big bore, because he wanted a bigger hole, because it's better, but he sucked at shooting, never trained, couldn't afford ammo. You name the reason that it's hilarious. Post all your hunting stories down below where a dude said, well, I need to get a 44 Magnum because I'm going to Alaska, but he can't hit anything with it. Those stories are hilarious, and I look forward to reading the comments. And as always, thank you for supporting. If you want to donate monetarily, we are doing a ton of burn downs at Glock 19 baseline burn down. Donate to the ammunition fund. Even $5 or $10 helps a ton with that. And last but not least, the Patreon. This channel is primarily supported and funded by the members of the Patreon channel. It's $5 a month. It gets you access to a closed Discord server where you can stay up late, find buddies to train with, game with, or just chat, have a good time, talk about your favorite Fudd stories. Okay, so first and foremost, a bigger hole isn't better. What matters most for concealed carry, for competition, for duty use is more bullets, having more bullets available, because handgun rounds inherently suck. The only reason a handgun round is even effective is to fight to a rifle, or if you hit them in the eye triangle, okay, the eye box or the heart, then they will die. Anything else, you're just making a leak that will take forever to die. Even a minute is forever in a gunfight, right? So handgun rounds are inherently, they suck, okay? They're stupid already. They're a means to fight to a rifle or a shotgun. Let me tell you a story. I am a successful caribou hunter and an unsuccessful black bear hunter. I was stationed in Alaska for 3 years, assigned to an airborne unit. When I first got there, I bought a 44 Magnum handgun, a Smith & Wesson Model 69 Combat Magnum. Cheers. I thought you needed a 44 Magnum based on the internet, because the internet told me if you don't have a 44 Magnum, you're going to die in bear country. And then I got to Alaska, and after about 6 months to a year, I started meeting hunters, other concealed carriers, guys just doing backpacking and hiking, and they were like, dude, you don't need a 44. There's a ton of stories of guys using 9 because it's just their carry gun and they just got caught in a bad spot in Alaska. It's the most it's the most common caliber to kill a bear in defensive times or defensive stories in Alaska is with a 9mm handgun. So, hearing all these stories from experienced hunters and experienced backpackers and through hikers, I got rid of the 44 Magnum and got a Glock 20 in 10mm because I thought, well, get some Buffalo Bill up in there. Now I got 15 rounds of 10mm and I'll put the bear down. Even if I miss the head, it's a big bore. Well, then I found out that even anything other than a direct headshot, even though you still got to penetrate the thick skull, even anything other than a direct headshot is not going to stop a charging grizzly or a charging human pretty much at all, unless you hit them. There's pumps and there's switches, okay? Both with a bear, a person, you name it. A switch is the eye box or the heart. You hit them in that, boom, they're dead, okay? If you can't penetrate the heart or the brain, well, even with a 10mm, even with a 45 auto, 2 world wars, you hit them in the extremities. Yeah, they're going to be leaking, but it's going to take them a minute or two to die or more in Minecraft, and that is not what you want. Long story short, for my Alaska story, I ended up ditching the Glock 20 as well. One, because reliability. I found that the reliability with many different types of ammunition, both buffalo bore, underwood, there's other rounds, hard cast rounds that I use with a different barrel, and all kinds of different Fudd techniques. Ultimately, the guys in Alaska end up doing either buffalo bore, but accept the reliability issue and understand that their gun might not work, which is a pretty bad situation, or they go completely to a Glock 17 with a 20 round or 21, I believe a 20 round or 21 round base plate, okay? From like Terran Tactical, and that is their bear gun loaded with the Underwood or Buffalo Bill or Buffalo Bore. We call it Buffalo Bill as a joke up there. Buffalo Bill. But the point of that story is guys go with the Fudd take of we need the biggest round. Then they get 44 Magnum or 500 Smith & Wesson. Then they go to 44. Then they go to 10 millimeter. Sometimes they go to a stopgap like a 45 auto. And then they ultimately end up at 9 millimeter because they have realized gun is heavy, gun is inaccurate, fast follow-up shots aren't a thing. Now let's transition that to duty use. And we're going to get to concealed carry, don't worry. For duty use, if you look at literally all these police shootings, thankfully we have all this body cam footage to look at. The vast majority of the time with 40 Smith & Wesson or 357 SIG, the guns are uncontrollable. They're not accurate because these guys are mid shooters at best. They can't put fast shots on target. And even when they hit the target, guess what? It's just a 40 caliber hole. It's not like you're hitting them with a freaking cannon, okay? Even with 10 millimeter, which no agencies that I know of are carrying them. There might be some out there, but there are people carrying 357 SIG and 45 auto and 40 Smith & Wesson. Even with these larger diameter and larger caliber rifle or rounds, just because you're putting holes in them, if I hit you here with a large round, yeah, it's cool I hit you with a larger round, but the round still sucks because it's a handgun, and it's not like, unless I nick an artery or nick your heart, you're not going down, okay? And honestly, you want a large hit or a direct hit on the heart and brain anyway, or the heart and lungs, right? So, the argument of bigger hole better, while yes, it's true, not at the expense of physics, having less rounds, less accurate rounds. You want fast follow shots, accurate shots for duty use, okay? So if you could have 15 or 14 rounds of a certain caliber, like 10 millimeter, or you could have 21 or 22 rounds of 9 millimeter in the same frame and same package with faster follow-up shots with 124 HST at a 9 millimeter, that's what you want because all handgun rounds are inherently stupid. Now for concealed carriers, this is where I bang my head against the wall the most. For concealed carriers, guys think, well, if I'm only going to get a few shots because the average shooting is 3 rounds or 6 rounds based on the FBI, even though they took in thousands of suicides, right, in Minecraft for these statistics, that is the problem. These statistics are not accurate, okay? You can look at some gunfights and they're over in 2 rounds. You can look at other gunfights and it's over in 3 magazines. The fight will last as long as you have ammo for, and you want to have more ammo. So that is why I recommend 9 millimeter with guns like a 19, 17, you name it, guns with more bullets, right? 9 millimeter, because handgun rounds inherently suck. You want fast follow-up shots, accurate shots out of the rip. You don't want to be scared, and a lot of you guys are not good pistol shooters. You don't dry fire enough. You're not doing enough to take care of yourself to be accurate. So, I guess in summary, guys, for concealed carriers, you want a 9 millimeter fast follow-up shots, accurate, reliable pistol. Stop trying to get the perfect hyper round so that way you get a showstopper. That's not a thing. Okay, guys, in summary, my camera died for some reason. You should avoid the Fudd lore at all costs. Yes, 45 ACP is fun to use on the flat range, but not at the expense of your physical well-being. When it comes down to your physical well-being for concealed carry, duty use, for military use, you want a 9 millimeter, you want a lot of rounds, you want accurate rounds, you want to train with that gun. You don't want to go down the rabbit hole of these hyper handgun rounds, magnum rounds, whatever. It's all a waste of time, and you're ultimately going to end up back at 9 millimeter, just like the military and all law enforcement did. If you want to support the channel, hit the like button, do all the things down below. Let me know your thoughts on this issue. I'm sure you guys will be very passionate. Let me know what you carry down below. And hit the like button, of course, and donate to the Ammunition Fund or just join the Patreon, okay? Thanks for being here, guys. And until next time, it's going to be Trench Grenade, your average big bore handguns do in fact suck video enjoyer that your mom says that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Cheers.